Hey, Shabbat Shalom, everyone. In Acts 15 and verse 1, certain men from Jerusalem came to where Paul was preaching the gospel, and they taught that the Gentiles must be circumcised according to the law of Moses in order to be saved. Now, this caused a dissension between Paul and these preachers from Jerusalem, so they went to Jerusalem to discuss this matter. Here is the judgment of the church in Acts 15 and verse 19. They say, "Therefore I judge that we should not trouble those from among the Gentiles who are turning to God, but that we write to them to abstain from things polluted by idols, from sexual immorality, from things strangled, and from blood." Now each one of these things were considered abominations to Israel, and they would disallow fellowship between an Israelite and a Gentile. And here's where most of the church stops. They stop right here and say, well, you see, this is all that they commanded the Gentiles to observe. And they completely miss the very next scripture, which is Acts 15 and 21. "For Moses has had throughout many generations those who preach him in every city, being read in the synagogue every Sabbath." You see, Moses is preached in every city in the synagogue every Sabbath. Now, where did Paul go to teach the Gentiles? He went to the synagogue of the Jews, and every Sabbath in the synagogue of the Jews were Gentiles, hearing the law being read every Sabbath. And in order to be in the synagogue, they had to be observant to that law. They had to be observant to that law. Now, they said, let us write down that they abstain from any abomination that would disallow fellowship, and that they will hear the law being read every Sabbath in the synagogue. So we don't need to write every single thing down. They'll hear the rest of the law in the synagogue. The only time Paul didn't go to the synagogue was when he went to a colony in Macedonia. And see, in Macedonia, there were less than 10 heads of Jewish families in that area. Because if there had been 10 heads of Jewish families in that area, they are commanded to open a synagogue. So he went to the area, though, that they were having prayer, where they were meeting on the Sabbath. So I just want to rightly divide this word for you. Shabbat Shalom.